You know, it actually is a lot brighter down here. So I was reading the issue of Ninja Turtles that came out last week, which I know you all read because I did recommend it. And I realized something that I wanted to share with you all today. First, I want to ask a question. What does Raphael sound like? You know, this guy right here, in the red, with the size and the... yeah. Yeah, I have a lot of toys. But not just the sound of his voice, but also the way he acts. What comes to mind? He's brash, he's aggressive, the token badass of the group. In terms of the way he talks, he actually talks like he's a tough guy from New York, as opposed to his brothers who all talk like surfers for some reason, because comics. And this is the way he's portrayed in pretty much every form of media except the original 1987 cartoon. The original cartoon depicts Raph as more of a comic relief character, like a prankster, another Michelangelo, basically. We all know Michelangelo is supposed to be, you know, the wisecracking party dude. And yet that cartoon also has Raph be a wisecracking party dude. His voice isn't that of like a New York tough guy, but it's more along the lines of like a New York comedian. Really, the only time they ever infer Raphael's bad boy status is in the theme song. Raphael is cool, but rude. Michelangelo is a party dude. So this cartoon gets one of their main characters completely wrong. And yet this is the most well-known version of the Ninja Turtles. This is the one everyone refers back to. Now, the original series is very nostalgic for a lot of us, myself included. So that's probably a main reason behind it. But let's look a little deeper, shall we? That show is the reason why we all think of April O'Neil as a reporter who happens to wear yellow. I don't have any April O'Neil figures. In the original Mirage comic books, though, she's not. She's a lab assistant for Baxter Stockman. She's also a lab assistant in the 2003 cartoon and the current IDW comic book series. However, in the current Nickelodeon cartoon, she's neither of those. She's a teenager whose father gets kidnapped by the Krang aliens, who should just be called the Utrom, but that's another story and I'm getting ahead of myself. The point is, there are all these versions of Ninja Turtles, just like there are all these versions of Batman and Spider-Man and even Dracula. Characters who started out as one thing in one form of media, but over the years have had their legend grow and expand over hundreds of different mediums. And with the Ninja Turtles, you have all these comic books and video games, 3 major cartoons, 4 big screen movies, an upcoming movie that's probably gonna suck. Okay, most likely will suck. All these different versions that never override each other, but just add to the ongoing legacy. Basically what I'm saying is the next time a new Ninja Turtles cartoon or movie or video game comes out, we need to stop saying that it's not the same as the original cartoon, because the Ninja Turtles are bigger than that. It's not about adhering to one medium or the other, rather adhering to a legacy that's been going on for almost 30 years now. Because you see, the Ninja Turtles have reached a level a few comic book characters reached. Really, only like DC and Marvel characters have achieved this. The Ninja Turtles are folklore. And like classic folklore like Beowulf or Paul Bunyan or Superman, the Ninja Turtles have certain story elements that always have to be there. 4 turtles in a rat, exposed to ooze, mutate, become humanoid, learn karate, yada yada yada. And as time goes on, more elements get added to this ongoing story. And it doesn't matter who tells the next major story, because everybody knows these characters and the basic concept behind them. So even if a character acts like a comedian when he's supposed to be kind of an asshole, as long as everything else falls into place, it'll work perfectly. There's already been this massive legacy left behind. We all know the major elements of the Ninja Turtles saga. Honestly, that's why I think everybody was up in arms when Michael Bay said the Turtles would be aliens in the upcoming movie. Not because he was making changes to an old cartoon, but because he was making changes to folklore. And you can't do that. We all know Paul Bunyan had a blue ox, not a red ox. You can't just make changes like that. Also, he brought us these two. Never forget. I guess what I'm trying to say in conclusion is that even though the Ninja Turtles are owned by Nickelodeon, which is really weird to say now that I think about it, they belong to all of us. And like the best comic book characters like Spider-Man, Batman, we all have our own version of these characters that to us are the definitive version. And your version may be different from this person's version, this person's version, but they're all the same, even though they're very different. That was a pretty serious conversation to have about a bunch of pizza-eating reptiles. That's what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe. Pick up Batman Black and White #3 this week. See you next time. Taking place during the beginning of Batman's career, The Long Halloween recounts the year-long hunt to try and stop the Holiday Killer, and the lengths that Batman, Commissioner Gordon, and Harvey Dent will go to in order to bring justice to Gotham City. The lengths Batman, Jim Gordon, and Harvey Dent will go to bring justice to Gotham. Where have I heard that before?